Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to make over this chair that I picked up off the side of the road for free. I'm going to take you completely behind the scenes today of what goes into repurposing this chair as well as everything I do to make it a blog post. So this is the chair I picked up. It was on the side of the road. It's a solid wood chair. It's super cute and I don't necessarily have a plan yet, but as I get going with this video, I know I'll figure it out. What I'm going to do first is clean it with my favorite cleaner for furniture cleaning. This is called a Dixie Belle White Lightning Cleaner. There are lots of tutorials on my blog, gatheredinthekitchen.com, for how to use this exactly. But I just always clean all of my furniture with Dixie Belle White Lightning first, because even if you wash your furniture with dish soap, like a degreasing type dish soap or other cleaners, I have never found it to clean the piece as well as what it does with the White Lightning. However, there is one tip with this. Once you wash this with White Lightning, so you mix these little granulated crystals with water. I always use hot water. You need to come back and rinse this piece down completely with fresh clean water to make sure that you do get all of the residue of the cleaner off. Otherwise you might have paint adhesion problems. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, I'm going to take a picture of all of my supplies. And my dog's in the way. Look out, Juju. Look up, puppy. Oh, and Dublin now. Hey, Dublin. Oh, you look cute for the picture. Okay, so here is my first step. Now, what I'm going to do is that this says to dissolve 2 heaping tablespoons of White Lightning into a gallon of hot water. Clearly, this is not a gallon, but I'm just going to mix a little bit in, let it dissolve. And then the reason I like to use a glove is not necessarily because of the cleaner, but because this piece is pretty disgusting. And it came from somebody else's house, not mine. So I'm just gonna get my rag wet, get the cleaner all over it. Oh, go get it. Throw the ball to the dog and start wiping. You can see how gross that is already. So that's why I want to wear a glove. I just try to get in all of the little nooks and crannies here. Dogs are just like kids. As soon as you start doing something, they all need you to do something for them. All right, there we go. I'm gonna take a picture real quick of this on here, like that. we go. Now what I want to do is rinse out this water, get fresh water, and get a new rag. So whenever I do furniture pieces, I always start fresh with a new rag when I do my rinsing process, just because it's really hard to get all of the residue out of this rag super quickly before doing it, putting it in the washing machine. So that's just why I like to grab a new rag. So let me head inside, rinse this out, and get a new rag. Okay, I'm back with fresh water and a fresh rag. Put this around, throw the ball for the dog. And just rinse this all down. Now, I do like it to saturate my piece. It's totally fine. One, it will dry. Two, it's solid wood, and you really can't hurt wood like this when you get it wet. That's the great thing about working with wood. But you do just want to make sure you get all the places that you cleaned with the cleaner and just wipe it down very good. If your piece is really gross and has a lot of little nooks and crannies, what I would do is take a toothbrush or another form of a nylon bristle brush and clean out all of the little nooks and crannies, areas that you kind of can't get to with a wash rag. What I like to do for toothbrushes is normally at home, we all use electric toothbrushes at our house, but when we travel, I don't always like to take the toothbrush that I'm going to use again at my house on the road with us. So I buy the cheap disposable toothbrushes. And then when we come home, I turn those into my cleaning toothbrushes. So I'll use them for the furniture. I also use them for laundry, for getting stains out of my kids' clothes and stuff. So I like to repurpose and reuse. Oh, drop it. You gotta give it to me. All right, this is all clean now. So normally what I'll do is I'll set this in the sun to dry. It's already drying because today's actually a very warm day, surprisingly. And so I'll put it in the sun, let it dry for a little bit until it's ready to be painted. And the great thing about using Dixie Belle chalk paint is it doesn't have to be dry all the way, actually, because there are a couple different ways of painting furniture. You guys can check out my ebook guide on how to paint furniture completely. But there are two different methods, the dry method and the wet method. I usually prefer the wet method just because it makes the paint go on a lot easier and it helps make a little bit of paint go a lot further distance. So what I do is I can actually start painting this while it is a little wet, and that will work totally fine. Another tip, if you need to dry it quicker, you can use a leaf blower. This will just help clean off any excess water that may be collected on there. Also make sure it'll get off any little dust or debris that might be on there. You could also take a large towel, try to dry it off, but really just setting it in the sun and letting it air dry for a little bit is the best way to go. But because I like the wet method, I'm just gonna give this a little quick blow with the leaf blower and then start painting.